Alright, what's going on? Mattia Giubilato here. Today is Sunday, July 6th, 2025, and this is the first video that I'm gonna post on this channel. Now, because it's the first video, it's gonna be a bit different, and I wanna explain how the structure of all these videos is gonna look like, the point of, I guess, this series. I don't know if this is the only thing I'll ever post in this channel, so like episodes of this series, or if I'm going to at one point post something different. I don't know, maybe some vlogs. I don't really know. I just know that the point of this channel is not to monetize, which is very important. I don't do it because I want to get views. Honestly, if there was a setting that I could put where I don't see how many views I get, I would put it. I'm not posting for others in terms of to be seen by others, but I'm posting for myself, and a couple more reasons. So I guess I'll start with those. Why am I even posting on the channel? What is the point? So I think I've put it in the description of this channel, which I don't even have access to right now. But the main point is this. I want to, first of all, keep track of my progress. So I want to be forced to take action, because if I don't, then I will have to tell the camera and I guess everybody in the internet, although I don't expect this to get almost any views, I'll be forced to take action because I now have some pressure. I have these videos, I have things to keep track of. And I think one of the things I realized lately is the importance of awareness. So once I am aware of something, I take much better action, or very different action, compared to when I'm unaware of it. When I'm scrolling on Instagram and I become aware of it, boom, it's completely switch. When I become aware that I'm getting 10% stronger every gym session I do, well, that changes how I approach my workout. I'm much more excited to go workout. But nothing changed. The only thing that changed is that I became aware of it. So I guess one of the parts of these videos, one of the reasons is to keep staying as aware as possible of what I'm doing. That way I can iterate, take what's bad about it, what I did bad about it, what I did good, and get more excited to move towards the right direction. So I guess that is, I don't even know if I said that correctly, but I hope I got my point across, okay? So that is the main point, one of the main points. Now the second point is to kind of inspire others now and motivate others. Now I don't really know, again, if anyone will ever watch these videos. I think they're gonna stay at around 10 to 12 views per video, and that's fine because they're not to get views. But I know that the few people that watch these, because my goal would really be, I hope I'm gonna have enough time for it, but my goal would really be to have maybe, let's say, 100 videos, 200 videos on this channel, just raw videos like this, talking, updating on my life, explaining what's going on, explaining how I'm improving, what areas of my life am I improving, what lessons am I learning every week. And that, I believe, if someone follows it, I believe that will inspire a lot of people. So if this is the first video you're watching about me and you see another 20, 30 videos on the channel, just watch them in order. Or maybe don't. Go from the first one to the last one. If there's like 50 videos in the middle, you're gonna see the difference physically, mentally, the way I talk, when I do things, the metrics I'm going to explain. So that's really the whole point. Tracking my improvement, which will automatically help me improve more. And if someone sees how much I'm improving, it will help them improve more and hopefully do the same thing. But third, most importantly, this is, I think, the biggest reason for me to do this is because I don't know, honestly, how long I'm gonna, like, nobody knows, right? You don't know how much you're gonna live. I don't know when I'm gonna live. Maybe tomorrow I get hit by a car and I'm done. That's it. Life just happens like that. I will share more stories about my life and other things in this channel, but my whole point is that whatever happens to me, I wanna have a good amount of content. I would say, and that's why I want to really get to the high numbers of videos, as much content as possible for my future family, for my current friends, for whatever, to watch these videos, remind them of who I was, how I operated, so that maybe it inspires them to do the same. And there's always lessons to be taken from videos like this. Okay, so I know that let's say I have a son and for some reason I pass away, he can go back, watch these videos. So right now, I am 20 years old. I'm born in the 1st October 2004, and today is, as I said, July 6th, 2025. It's a Sunday. I'm gonna try to make all these videos in a Sundays. But the point is now, my son, regardless of whenever I'm gonna have a son, if I'm gonna have a son, right? Because I don't even know. In case anything happens to me one day, I would like for these videos to be out there for him to watch. And that's also, a lot of it comes down to the fact that I would really pay a lot of money, literally everything I have, to have a few hours of content of my dad going over how we lived and tips for me, you know, what to focus on, what to do this, what to do in this scenario, what to do with this, because he's lived more than me. And I'm not saying I would live exactly like he did, even if he had those videos, but it would teach me a lot. So, okay, that's the whole point of this series. This is the first episode, so it's gonna be extremely boring if you're watching it. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you find it interesting already, but that's the main thing. So I wanted to explain the motivation. I won't touch on this again. It's just because it's the first episode. Now, let me see. The next part is the core metrics. So I am going to, in every video, because how can I track my progress? How can I track how much better am I doing this week compared to the previous one? Well, there's clearly needs to be some metrics that I'm measuring, okay? So what are these metrics? That's a good question. Right now, I think metrics will change over time, because when I'm gonna be 30, I don't think I'll I'll keep track of the same things. Some things change based on what goals you have right now in your life. Now, the metrics that right now I'm focusing on and that I want to track every week to see if I'm improving or not are going to be bench press, so my bench press, my deadlift, my weighted pull-ups, so how much weight can I put when I do pull-ups, and usually all of these are going to be between 3 and 5 reps. I will get more into it, and I will obviously understand it much more and much more accuracy after a few weeks go by of doing this. And fourth metric, which is pretty interesting, is my Instagram usage. I really think that, I mean, my goal is to obviously lower that down. I don't want to track my Instagram usage and if it goes up, it's good. No, I want to lower it because it's just distracting me. It just messes with my brain every time I'm on it, and I just kind of lose track of time. I become unaware of what's going on around me, and that's not something I want to do. Okay, I need to be as aware as possible, keep moving towards my goals, and my goals have nothing to do with Instagram, to be honest. So I shouldn't even be on there. Okay, so I'm gonna start tracking how much I use it per day on average per week, and I'm gonna try to lower that down over time. And finally, the last metric that I'm measuring for now, and at least for the next month, then I think that every month I should reconsider the metrics I'm keeping track of, because they can change, goals can change. I make so much progress, and then the change, once I get to a 200 kilo bench, probably not worth to make that a weekly goal and keep tracking when I get to 220. There's priorities will change, but for now these are the ones. And the last one is going to be deep work. So how many hours of deep work I put in per week? How do I track that? I track that by basically, and that's good. Since I started tracking it the past couple of days, I became much more aware of how little I'm working, which is gonna help me work more. So, for example, I look at the time when I start working, I see it's 3 p.m., and I'm like, okay, so let's start working at 3 p.m. So I'm aware of when I start working. Then I look at the clock again when I'm kind of a bit tired. Let's say I'm already tired. My attention span has gotten so much worse over the past few years. It's insane. But let's say 30 minutes go by and I already started getting distracted. I go on YouTube. I do something. I look at the time and I'm like, fuck, I've only been working 30 minutes. I only started at 3. Let me keep going. Because I realized 30 minutes is nothing. Okay, and I usually do blocks of 50 minutes to an hour. So that being aware of when I start the deep work session allows me to keep going for more time. And that's really what I've been noticing over the past couple of days. Now, I haven't been tracking this metric for long, only 2 days. Yes, literally today, that's Sunday, and yesterday, that's Saturday, which are the day I work the least. But yesterday I managed to put in 3 hours and 40 minutes. Okay, and today so far we are at about 2 hours. Now that does not include you know, the time I spend doing these videos. I don't know if including the time I am on sales calls or calls during the day, because although they do require a lot of energy, those are not really the things, because, you know, calls is like, you know, you have to do it. You're not forcing yourself to do it. You're not really, I don't know, blocking yourself out and doing the work. It's more like you have a call, you have to take that call, whatever. Okay, so I always take the calls. I never skip calls. So that's why it's not really an improvement to take them, because I always take them. But the work I'm doing when I'm not forced to, when I don't have a call, that's the work I want to track. So I don't want really my deep work to go past the 5 hours a day, especially if I have calls. And also by deep work right now, I literally just mean work, not distracted work. So I can have a little bit of music in the background, but just doing stuff. So not messing around, not on Instagram, not on this, not on that, just doing the work. So that work could go from learning something to chatting with ChatGPT about important things that I need to focus in my business and solving problems and getting new ideas in my business, or literally doing also repetitive actions, which could be sometimes designing a landing page for a client. That is a repetitive action, but I need to be focused on it and I'm working. So I consider that deep work. So these are the 4 metrics that I'm, 5 I think they are, yeah, that I'm measuring right now. As I said, I don't have much to show for the last week in terms of deep work, but I do have something to show for Instagram. Okay, so let's see what last week's Instagram usage was, so that we can improve from here. Now, this is going to be a hard hit. It's going to make me aware that last week I used Instagram too much. So it looks like the daily average, I'm trying to go to last week. All right, so last week's time on Instagram was 5 hours and 30 minutes with a daily average of 47 minutes. So this is honestly not a bad start, but we're gonna see how low we can go from here and lower it as much as possible. So that's it. Now, bench press. This week's bench press, let me check the numbers on my notes. I hadn't done bench press in so long, so it's good that I'm now start measuring this. So this week, my flat bench press was, and from this week I'm also going to start recording these sessions of training. That way I can have these videos to show for you guys or for whoever is watching this. So last week I did 80 kilos times 5. That is my max that I did last week. I think I'm always going to keep it in the 3 to 5 range, because that's where you get stronger. I'm not measuring based on 1 rep max. I'm keeping it on the 3 to 5 reps. I think that's a good place to be at. So this week, 80 kilos times 5. Let's keep that in mind, and next week we go and see how much I did. Now, when it comes to deadlifts got better. I mean, it did go well. Deadlifts, I did a lot of sets because I hadn't done deadlift in so long, so it took me a few sets to get used to it. So the first set I did 80 kilos times 3, then 90 kilos times 3, then 100 kilos times 4, and I was like, okay, 100 kilos is a good place to be at. I'm gonna stay here. And I did my last set, which was my 5th set, I did 100 kilos times 5. Now, I already know that next week I'm gonna hit at least 110, 115, if I even want to 120, because I hadn't done deadlift in so long. And the fact that I did 100 times 5 is pretty good. And I know that it's gonna be just exponential improvement from here, okay? Next, this is what's been the most exciting, and that's been weighted pull-ups. So I have the video of these actually. So let me see when was the time. So on Monday, June 30th, today is Sunday, July 6th. So literally 7 days ago, I hit 25 kilos weighted pull-ups. I'm gonna put the video here, times 4. Okay? Now, on Saturday, so yesterday, so 5 days later basically, I hit 25 kilos times 5. Okay, so in 1 week, in 5 days, there already was a big improvement. Like a couple weeks ago, I was doing, I'll go back because I have all the numbers. A couple weeks ago, I did 17.5 kilos times 8. And as I said yesterday, I did 25 times 5. So that's already so much better and closer. And also the amount of weight, the amount of effort it takes. And I have the videos of those, so I'll put them one here, one there, you're gonna see this is a 5 days difference at the gym. So that is what excites me. When I go back and see those clips and I see, shit, on Monday I was like this, and now it's Saturday, I'm already like this, I'm fired up. Like, I can't wait for the next back section, for the next session at the gym. We want to do back and whatever, because it's like, I'm improving. I'm doing something right. That is shows, it makes me aware that I'm moving in the right direction, which makes me want to move even more in the right direction. So yeah, this is pretty much all I have in terms of metrics for this week. Nothing insane, but it's literally the start point. That's what's exciting. Like, it's the first video, and hopefully, I hope I can stick to it. I know I can. It's just like, what tends to happen with me, and what really happened over the past couple of years, I just really went, not a couple of years, definitely over the past year, I literally went ghost. Like, I haven't posted on YouTube, I haven't posted on my main YouTube channel, I have another YouTube channel. As of now, it has like 9,000 subs, when I only talk about marketing, copywriting, my business knowledge, I would say, or business progress specifically. And yeah, it's like, I haven't posted in, I think now are 8 months. I haven't posted on Instagram. I've posted once just because I had a decent picture playing soccer, but I haven't posted a story in a year. I literally just went ghost, and I don't know. That's just something that I don't know. It doesn't make me feel good to go, like, when I go ghost. I realize, at first I was like, oh, it's so cool to be ghost, blah blah blah. Now I realize it's because I didn't think I was worthy of posting. Other example, couple years that I haven't really been, I don't know if interacting is the right word. Yeah, I guess it's interacting. Okay, my power just went out. All right, so as I was saying, it's been probably a couple years that I haven't been interacting, I think is the right word, with women, like girls, whatever. Like, I really haven't. Like, I haven't texted with girls, I haven't gone up to girls, asked for their numbers. I really, 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 truly haven't. So, when I think about it, I'm like 20 years old, and I know I'm very focused on my business and so on, but like, I'm not gay, like, I like girls and so on. But at the same time, it's like, I just didn't feel I was worthy of going up to a girl and speaking with her. Like, I didn't think I deserved it. Okay, so that is a scary place to be in, because you're making so much, you're improving so much. Because at the end of the day, I improved so much over the past year, and I think the people who are close to me, they realized it. But I just never felt like it. Okay, so something has changed these past couple weeks. Something that I guess is also the reason why I'm posting now, because I wouldn't be posting if I still was in that non-worthy mindset. Because I just felt, I would have just felt like, nobody wants to hear my shit. My shit's not interesting. I haven't done enough. I haven't achieved enough. That's how it sounds inside your head. Or at least that's how it sounded inside my head until a few weeks ago. And it's not like I was depressed. I was just chill. I was just doing my work, doing my calls, doing my everything that I had to do. But at the same time, I wasn't doing any active social effort in terms of social media, or in terms also in social life. So I wasn't going out for dinner with friends. I wasn't doing shit. I was just doing my stuff, which is good, right? That's what I guess these days they call monk mode. To me, it was just life. My life was just monk mode. And to some degree, it still is. I'm very locked in, not gonna lie. But it's a different type of locked in. It's a type of locked in that when you walk in a room, you feel like. Here's the thing: monk mode is not bad. This is what I kind of think right now. Monk mode is not bad. It's all about the energy and frequency you have in that monk mode. So there's monk, like, at first, previously I would say my energy was just like, oh, unworthy, like a guilty energy. Now my energy is like, I deserve everything. I'm doing great. I'm progressing, and it all came down to also being aware of my progress. Hence why I'm doing this video. Hence why I hope you guys, or whoever is watching this, that's the same. Now, I think I'm gonna make it a stand, because I don't want to just, because at one point, one of the things that was stopping me from starting this channel the other day was, who wants to hear my yap? Okay, who wants to hear me yapping? Who wants me to just say things like, nobody wants that, right? Nobody wants that if your goal is to sell. So if I was here trying to sell you something, I probably wouldn't want to be yapping, and I wouldn't make yapping videos because I just find them boring, and they have no role or scope or, yeah, literally role in the sale. But here, this is a different channel. Like, if you're watching this, you were ready for the yap. Like, you were expecting that. Again, I'll just keep that in mind every time. Let's say my son is watching this video. Literally right now, when I think of who am I, the things that I'm saying and how I'm saying them and how I'm communicating them and what I'm saying, I always keep in mind, what if my son was watching this video? Would I say this thing, or would I be like, no, they don't care? I would say it. Okay, so that's how I'm kind of selecting what to say here, what not. I think that every week, in every different video, I'm gonna talk about one specific topic. So today's topic that I suppose I've already started talking about almost naturally is this feeling that I've been having of winning. Okay, so, and that's also why I called this video, I think, or the channel, one of the things, I put the banner right now is like leveling up or winning or stacking wins. So there's this thing that's been going on for the past couple of weeks. As I said, what's changed? What changed? Because something changed in the past couple of weeks. Okay, something changed, and it wasn't something that changed in the business. But as a result, something in the business and the income I'm making changed in a good way. It wasn't something that changed in terms of maybe something in the training did change, but it all changed because of the mindset before it. Something changed in terms of approaching girls, because I did approach a girl last week for the first time in, as I said, 2 years. And I don't even know last time I was approaching a girl cold. It must have been over 2 years ago. And so, something changed in my mind and in my frequency, in my energy levels, that as a result are moving me in an upward spiral. I feel like I'm in a wave of fortune where my frequency is always up. I'm attracting things. When I walk in a room, people turn their head. And what I figured out, or what I think I figured out, is that I've just been working harder. And this does not mean on my business. This does not mean specifically on the gym, on everything. I've been working harder, I've been doing more, I've been tracking what I'm doing. So I've been locked in. And I think that a lot of it comes down to the gym. I really think a lot of it comes down to the gym. Like, I'll go as far as saying 70% of the reason why of this upward spiral was the gym. The effort I put directly towards the gym. Because over the past couple of years, I don't think I have a video yet out on my body transformation over the past 2 years. So from when I was 18 years old to now 21, I'm going to be 21 in a few months, which is crazy. And I don't think I have that, but if you go back and watch my, I'm gonna post a video eventually in the next year about my body transformation after my shoulder surgery. But since then, like, my body's just been stagnating. I've never really recovered my shoulder. I've never really got back my strength. I was always being weak. I was looking good, to be honest, because I had still my muscle memory, but I was always, there, 78 kilos, 77. Athletic, but nothing I was confident about. Now, over the past couple of weeks, something changed. I just was watching something on YouTube. I don't even know what it was. It's like this guy from Australia who's huge and jacked and can move. It's like he's not even the strongman competition, but he's one of the strongest people on earth. He's like 6'7" for 340 pounds, and he does all this shit. And I'm like, wow, that's manly. Like, that is cool. I don't know why. I was just attracted by someone working his ass off, because that made me feel like I wasn't doing enough, but it inspired me to do more. So what I felt inside was, shit, I need to do more. I need to do more. I need to do more activity. I need to do more that. I need to go to the gym more. I need to start actually taking my shoulder recovery seriously. I need to start pushing better at the gym. And the progress I've been making over the past couple months at the gym has already been pretty insane, I'll be honest. But I was always doing the things I was doing. I was working out 2, maybe 3 times a week for 30 to 40 minutes a session, and I was improving a lot. And my whole mindset was effort to reward ratio, meaning I was working 40 minutes and I was getting almost 10% stronger every session. Every session. So every time I was going from 6 reps, if I did 6 reps that time, the next time I was doing either 7 or 8 with the same weight. And the next time either 9 or 10. And the next time I would go up in weight and hit 6 to 7. And next time, so I was literally going up 10% every time. And I was just feeling great. But my whole mindset was effort to reward ratio. Meaning, I could do much more, and I know it, but I'm not willing to do the extra 90%. I'm not willing to go to the extra 10%. Because I think there's something I heard specifically last week, which was you can be in the top 10%. Like the difference between being in the top 10% and the 1% is like 90% extra, more effort, or double the effort. So to make that change between good and very good, or actually improving and really truly freaking improving, it's like 90% more effort. And I just simply, for me, it just wasn't worth the effort. So that's why I had this saying. I remember I would come back from the gym, I would look at my friends who I'm living with here in Alicante. I didn't say where I was. I'm in Alicante, Spain right now. I've been here for now a couple months. But anyways, yeah, I would just come back from the gym, look at myself, looking good, and I would just say the effort to reward ratio is insane. Because it's true. I was working out 30 to 40 minutes a day for 3 times a week, and I was getting stronger, like 10% better every session, literally. Like I was like, people say this shit about 1%. I'm 10% better every session. Some shit like that, just to it was fun. But the point is, I could still have done much more. I could have done 90% more effort to get to the 10% extra better. And I wasn't willing to do that. And I think that's the reason why I wasn't feeling worthy or deserve good things, because I knew I could have done more. So right now, what I started doing has been literally just doing more as much as I can and keep stacking wins. This has been my mindset over the past couple of weeks. This is what really changed a lot, and that's why I'm talking about it right now. This may be the only topic that I'm going to talk about in this video, is this concept of stacking wins. So I don't know, where can I start? So I've already explained a lot of it, to be honest, but I just started by adding something in a day. So I was doing my workouts. Okay, let's add something every day that makes me feel like I've done my work, besides my work here on the computer or with my business. Okay, so I started doing rocks. Okay, so rocks, if you're not familiar with the concept, they're just walks with a rock, so a backpack, weighted backpack, so about 10% of your body weight. It's not something strenuous. You don't get. It's not supposed to make you feel tired after you do it. You should walk for about 30 minutes at a pace where you can comfortably just breathe with your nose. And when you come back, you should feel better than when you left. That is the whole point of rocking. But still, you go at a very fast pace, as fast as you can, while only breathing with your nose. So I started doing that, and I don't know, I just felt like I'm just stacking wins. Okay, so today, what I did, I went rocking. Did it move me towards something insane? No, but I felt like I deserved more because I did it, right? And it's something small, right? It's 30 minutes of walking at the end of the day. Like, it's nothing. But it made me feel like I did something more than yesterday. So today I was better than yesterday because I did more effort. Not only I achieved higher results, but I also did more effort. So here's really why I'm tracking the deep work, because I really think that in order to keep progressing and keep living what's the term? Not balanced life, but a life where I always feel like I deserve things, eventually a lot will come down to my ability to improve my workload, to increase my workload. So the more hours I'll be able to work, deep work, the better I will feel, and more I will feel like I deserve things and I'm worthy of things. So I'm at that vibration, and things actually start happening in my life that are in that vibration. Okay, so I really think that's something that will happen. So what I've started focusing on is focus on increasing my workload per day. It's that simple. So the workload started by increasing just with some racks. I just started racking every day, 30 minutes a day. I still do it. I've been doing it for a couple of weeks now. And that is just something that I increased to my workday that was an easy win to do. And once I started doing that, I don't know, something changed. I started seeing things differently. There'd be some days where I wouldn't even want to do my bed. 20-year-old grown-ass man doesn't want to do his bed. Like, how can you possibly think of getting a wife if you don't even do your bed, right? So, after I started rocking, first thing, like this is just a stupid example. I increased my workload. I felt better because I got something done. It's not something necessarily that I hate doing or I enjoy doing it, but it's something a bit boring. I don't go with headphones, I don't go with anything. I just walk for 30 minutes at a fast pace with a backpack, 8 kilos backpack. And that was a win for me. I started taking it as a win, and once I did that, it was easier to stack more wins. So I got home, I see the bed, it's not done, and the bed is not made, and I'm like, bruv, let's just make this bed. And I just did the bed. And that was another win in my mind. I was like, okay, I'm at 2 wins. Good. I increased my workload. Yesterday I wasn't working I didn't do my racks yesterday. I didn't do my bed yesterday. I didn't um, eat this much food yesterday. So I started looking at things as wins instead of just things, right? Instead of looking at them as things I'm supposed to do, I started looking at them as wins. So, example, get my deep work session done. It's not my duty to do the deep work. I'm not a slave. I'm not meant to be working only. But when I do it, that's a win, +1. I go rocking, win. I do my bed, win. I eat the food with the right amount that I need to eat in order to be bulking, that's a win. Okay, so everyone is gonna have different wins. It's like some people don't care about the body. I think every man really should do that. Women probably have different concepts of wins, more emotional related than work related. But still, I started stacking wins. I literally started doing that. I started stacking wins, and there's one thing that I heard again this past few days, and it's like doing hard shit makes you want to do more hard shit. It's easier to do hard shit. It's easier to win when you're already winning. So do something that puts you in them winning vibration, that makes you feel like a winner, that makes you feel like you deserved it, that makes you think like you're the guy, you're the man. Okay? Do something like that. For me, this week, past couple weeks, it's been rocking. And to that, then I coupled going heavy at the gym. Because I was like, you know what? I want to win more. I want to win more because it feels good right now to be winning. I want to keep winning. I want to keep winning bigger. So what am I going to do? Fuck this 3 days a week to the gym or 2 days a week, half-assing it. I'm done half-assing shit. I'm going to go at it. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to do the best I can and stack as many wins as possible because I realized that when I do that, I want to do more hard stuff and I want to win more and I feel like a winner and I feel like I deserve everything in this world, and as a result, the world gives me everything I want. That's what I realized. And so I just started going heavier at the gym, added more sets. I added stuff like sprinting, I added box jumps, things that not necessarily have an impact on my physique or with the way I look, but are wins, and eventually our work that I'm putting in, our volume. And so I kind of switched from this optimal high effort to reward ratio activities to these getting shit done, keep stacking and stacking as many wins as possible mindset. And that's it. My life, is it optimal right now? No, because I know that if I went less to the gym every morning, I could work a little more, and I could probably do this a little more, and I could do these other things, and I could be more chill, and my neck wouldn't be so freaking sore right now. But I wouldn't walk around like I deserve it. I wouldn't be making this video, that's for sure, because I wouldn't feel like I deserved it. Now, this week I pushed hard. I really did. I did my stuff with it. Only one day I felt like I wasn't as much, and that's where I became aware of it, and the day after I fixed it. Okay? So I think that's what I wanted to talk about today. Stacking wins and going from that optimal work-life balance mindset to just fuck it. Stack wins. Worry about that only. Just keep stacking wins in all areas of your life. Track that. Okay, track your improvements, which is what I'm doing right now. Reason why I'm doing this video. One of the first reasons I mentioned. Do this, and that's it. And keep doing it until you achieve your goals, and the goals eventually change, and your metrics that you're tracking change. But as a man, the way I'm feeling right now, as a 20-year-old man who's been doing self-improvement, I guess you can call it that for the past 3 years almost, it's just do and stack wins. Just work hard, stack wins. Work hard, stack wins. And as a result, you're gonna feel like you deserve it. You deserve to do something. You deserve to say what you want to say. You deserve to be listened to. You deserve the girl. You deserve the meal. You deserve the money. You deserve love. You deserve it all because you worked for it. So there's some people, and I think there's people who can get a shortcut to it. I think that if you as a person are unable to see your inefficiencies and your lack of effort, if you're unable to see that and you're so delusional that you think you're working as hard as you could, although you're not, and you think you are extremely, if you think you're extremely deserving of everything in this world automatically, I think that still will happen for you because you're cheating the system. At the end of the day, it's all about how you feel and about your vibration. So if you, honestly, I really think this, if you have a lack of awareness of how bad you're doing, or are so delusional that you think you're always doing great and you deserve everything every time, all the time, as a result, you will get everything you want all the time, which is great. Now me, I'm not like that. I'm the opposite. I have more of the, what is it called? The imposter syndrome, I guess, where I'm like, it's much more easier for me to feel like shit and not deserving than to be deserving when I don't deserve it. Okay? So the only remedy that I've found for it over the past couple of weeks has been to work my ass off to the point where it's not optimal too, but where it makes me feel good. So basically doing everything necessary to feel like I deserve it. Everything necessary to go around this world and feel like I'm the man, I owned it, I deserve it, I earned it. So that's pretty much it. Okay, so I think for today is pretty good. First video, didn't do bad. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else I want to cover. I'm not gonna go to dinner. The next videos, every time I'm gonna try to not always talk about the same stuff, right? Although it's hard when you're doing this for the main focus of getting better, so it's hard not to talk about how to get better. But no, I will talk about more stuff, more things that in the same mindset I had earlier, what would I want my son to know? So I think every week I'm gonna talk about something different, some topics, some points, maybe some stories from my life that I never talked about anywhere. Why have I not talked about it anywhere? Because it don't make sales, right? Because telling you about the girl I approached last week doesn't make me sales if I talk about it in my main channel. But in this one, my goal is not to make sales. My goal is just to have this video out. So there's a place for it. There's room for those stories, and I want to get those stories out, and I want to make sure they stay because, yeah, I've already told you why. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Hopefully there's hundreds more of videos like these that you can already watch in my channel. If not, I guess you're gonna have to wait till next week, and hopefully I'll be able to make a video. All right? Then I thank you for your time. Thank you for everything. Talk to you soon. Bye.